From Max Bishop Stadium on the banks of College Creek on the yard of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, it's Navy Baseball on Navy Athletics YouTube as the Navy midshipmen play host to the Dartmouth College Big Green. A doubleheader today. Glad to have you along. Scott Wyckoff, along with Director Britton McMahon and Navy Assistant Sports Information Director for Baseball Marshall Filipowicz, the Patriot League and the Ivy League in a 4-game weekend series that began here in the state capital of Maryland yesterday afternoon. Dartmouth taking game one of the series 3-1. The Big Green scoring 2 in the first off of Brady Bendick and then another in the 6th. Navy's only run coming in the first inning as Navy was limited to 5 hits. Only 7 hits for Dartmouth off of Navy ace Brady Bendick, who in the quality start went 6 innings, allowing 3 runs. 2 were earned, 7 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Trey Shanaha with the win for the Big Green. Mac Burke with his second save of the season. Jackson Clark and Ed Lucero also pretty good in relief for the midshipmen as Dartmouth took game 1 3-1. Here game 2 scheduled for 7 innings this afternoon, with game 3, the second game of the doubleheader, scheduled for 9 innings. The midshipmen having a 2-game winning streak snapped with the loss yesterday as Dartmouth coming off a road weekend. They were all off last week. They're playing games 9 and 10 of a 15-game season opening road trip for the midshipmen. These will be games 6 and 7 of their 8-game homestand. A midweek walk-off win against Coppin on Tuesday, and then last weekend Navy took 2 of 3 at home here over St. Bonaventure. Also in South Carolina the weekend before that, the Salute the Troops weekend with wins over Air Force and Marshall. And for the Big Green, they had an impressive showing last weekend, falling to number 2 LSU in the first game of the weekend series down in Louisiana 5-4. They also earned a win over Grambling State and closing out the weekend with a loss to, again, second-ranked LSU last weekend. So pretty impressive for the Big Green. For Chuck Ristano's midshipmen, looking to rebound from the loss yesterday, late afternoon, early evening game. The midshipmen come into this one 8-4, 4-2. Here on the new field turf at Terwilliger Brothers Field, 2-2 away and 2-0 in neutral site games. And as I said, for Dartmouth College of Hanover, New Hampshire, starting the season with a 15-game season opening road trip. They don't play at home until, I believe, March 28th against Columbia in the Ivy League. Their next game after this weekend series here in Annapolis is at Bryant in Rhode Island on Wednesday. The midshipmen, after the weekend series against the Big Green, will also be hitting the road. This is spring break week here at the Naval Academy. The midshipmen will play in Norfolk midweek and then on the road for their Patriot League openers in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania against Lehigh next weekend. So big baseball weekend here with the Patriot League taking on the Ivy League, and then next weekend for the midshipmen, really getting into the heart of that Patriot League schedule on the road. It'll be Tyler Gren on the mound for the midshipmen. He and his teammates out on the field right now as we get set for the national anthem on what is a cloudy and 47-degree afternoon right here. So this crowd here at Max Bishop Stadium up on their feet as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. Perno. Victor Izquierdo at first base. Patrick Walsh at third. Chris Klug returns to the lineup in left field. Jake Hooten is the center fielder. Mason Ceccarelli in right field. On the mound, Tyler Gren. Home plate umpire, Webb Turner. At first base is Thurman Berry, and the third base umpire, Calvin Baker, as assigned by the Patriot League. Again, cloudy skies, 47 degrees, a high in the mid-50s. Doesn't look like any sort of precipitation on the way when we'll be playing this one. This first game is scheduled for 7 innings. The second game scheduled for 9 innings. As yesterday, it went 9, and Dartmouth's 3-1 win over the Midshipmen in a real pitcher's battle. Another strong outing for Navy ace Brady Bendick. So all set to go. Nico Banez, the left-handed swinging leadoff hitter, the center fielder, steps into the box against right-hander Tyler Gren, who delivers. First pitch misses high and away. Outside the strike zone at 86 miles per hour. Winds blowing from right field across to left field. Gren sets high from the chest, and his second pitch of the ball game fouled back to the screen. In 12 innings pitched, he's allowed 3 runs on 9 hits, 9 strikeouts, just a pair of walks. Teams are only hitting .209 against the Navy senior right-hander. His second start of this season and his 6th appearances. He's been very effective in middle relief out of the bullpen. This one fouled back towards the women's softball field here in Annapolis. Tayer Rodriguez on deck. The Big Green of Dartmouth, 3 wins, 4 losses, all on the road to start the season. The Midshipmen come in at 8-4. There's a ball, misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just underway in Annapolis. Big day for Navy sports going on right now. Just a long fly ball from here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Navy men's lacrosse. At last check in the second quarter, it was a 7-4 lead for Bucknell. We'll keep you updated on that. Also, the women's lacrosse team on the road today for spring break in Tampa against South Florida. The women 5th in the nation now. Gren's delivery. Swung right back to the box. Tyler gloves it and flips it over to Victor Izquierdo. 1 down here in the first. Another nice crowd this afternoon. Big crowds last weekend for the big weekend series against St. Bonaventure that saw the Midshipmen win that series 2-1 with wins on Friday and Sunday. The Bonnies taking the middle of the 2 games. Tayer Rodriguez, 5'8", 175-pound senior from Corona, California. First pitch ball to him. Patrick Walsh in on the grass at third, fouled off to the right side. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The 6th of an 8-game homestand for the Midshipmen. A doubleheader, so the 7th, probably getting underway, probably around 3:30 or so as Gren delivers. Inside at 87 miles per hour. Again, Tyler Kripe replacing Henry Mitchell at shortstop as Henry was knocked out of the game diving for a ball early yesterday, squaring to bunt, and it hits him off the bat. He's turned away. The pitch was coming in high and tight to Tayer Rodriguez at 5'8". Fouled back towards his dugout. Evens the count. Tyler Gren, both a starter and a middle reliever this season. The senior with the 2-2 delivery. Gets him on the outside corner. Second of the inning for the Midshipmen, and the 10th of the season for Tyler Gren at 88 miles per hour on the punch-out. 2 away. Axel Reese, the right fielder. Reese, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore from New York City. Fastball catches the outside corner from Tyler Gren. Actually, there we go. Works from the tight delivery. The pitch. Swung on and missed. A breaking ball. Low and away. A career 10-8 record for Tyler Gren. A 4.80 ERA as a mid. His 43rd appearance and his 28th start. The rider kick and a pitch. Fouled down the first base side. Blake McFadden, the head coach of the Big Green. Interim head coach, his 8th season, first as the interim head coach, as during the summer, long time Dartmouth head coach Bob Whalen retired. The pitch looped into right field. That'll be a 2-out base hit for Reese. So with 2 away, 1 on for Dartmouth. Cleanup hitter, A.J. DeMastra, the catcher. DeMastri. So DeMastri will step in now. Mentioned the retirement of Bob Whalen. 36 seasons. The head coach in Hanover at Dartmouth College. And because the decision was made so late and they had such trust in Blake McFadden, he was named the interim coach this summer after 7 seasons as an assistant coach. First pitch ball from Tyler Gren. Runner at first, 2 away, just underway in Annapolis, Navy and Dartmouth. The Patriot League and Ivy League. Runner takes off. The throw down to second base by Ty DePerno, a little bit high. Gloved by Tyler Kripe. And it's a stolen base for Axel Reese in scoring position now with 2 away. The pitch in, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. Kripe now with the left-handed batter will line up inside the runner. Almost right behind second base. Swung on and missed. Outside. Got him to go for one that was well wide. Ty DePerno back behind the plate for the midshipman. Got a rest behind the plate yesterday with Will Howard catching. Also the last game of the series against St. Bonaventure. Makes stop behind the mound and 1 inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base for Dartmouth. Back on the outfield grass. Notaditas getting the start at second base. Fly ball to left field. Chris Klug underneath it. Reaches up and makes the put out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We move to the home half of the first. The midshipmen and Dartmouth Big Green. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Midshipmen coming up here in the first inning. Today's Navy baseball game is brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Leading off for the midshipmen, Chris Klug, who made the put out to end the inning. Left fielder, batting second, Mason Ceccarelli. Hitting third, the captain, first baseman Victor Izquierdo. Designated hitter Andrew Manning bats cleanup. Patrick Walsh at third base. Bats fifth for the midshipmen. Batting sixth, catcher Ty DePerno. The 7th hitter in the lineup for the midshipmen, center fielder Jake Hooten. Tyler Kripe starting at shortstop this afternoon, bats 8th. And Noah Ditas, the second baseman, will bat 9th against Dartmouth right-hand junior Nate Eisler, 6'6", 235 pounds. from Milton, Georgia, played his high school baseball at Cambridge High School. 0-1 so far this season, his third start, a 6.75 ERA. That loss was in 4 innings last weekend against Gardner-Webb. Last year as a sophomore, 10 starts for the Big Green, tied for most on the ball club, and 12 appearances as a freshman. So the government major at Dartmouth, plenty of experience as a junior. And Chris Klug, sophomore left fielder, returning to the lineup now. Steps in for the Mids. That open stance, the first pitch to him, bat comes flying out of his hands over towards the on-deck circle, and with ice running through his veins, Mason Ceccarelli didn't even move as he watched that go by, flips it back to his teammate. Chris, 2 for 5 against Marshall on that big road trip the midshipmen made down to South Carolina with 2 runs scored after going 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series against Air Force and also South Carolina. The pitch misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to the midshipman leadoff hitter Chris Klug. Dealt with some injuries last year in his plebe season, also to start this season, his sophomore year. Misses outside. Didn't play in the last 4 Patriot League series last season. Has kind of been in and out of the lineup so far this year. He's heading the count 2-1. Hits a high fly ball to short left field. Puig is back for, called off by Chris Miller, and makes the put out. Puig from shortstop kept backpedaling into the outfield, and then Chris Miller realized he'd have a good beat on it, makes the put out. 1 up, 1 away. Mason Ceccarelli for the midshipmen, 3 for 11 in the series last weekend against St. Bonaventure with a couple RBI, and hit a home run yesterday for the midshipmen. Swung on and missed at 93 miles per hour from Nate Eisler. A blast to right field down the line. 1 for 5 in the loss for the midshipmen. The lone run at 92 miles an hour, in for a strike. So Mason Ceccarelli, talking to him during batting practice before the game. Loves to play anywhere he can play in the lineup, playing in right field. He flies one foul over the Joe Duff batting facility. Remember his last year, his freshman year, playing in one doubleheader. I remember playing left field, center field, and right field. Out there in right field today. St. John Newman High School product, one of 3 in the lineup for Chuck Restano. Check swing strike, throw down to first, and the strikeout and the putout at first with 2 down. Mason Ceccarelli behind in the count, 0-2, tried to check his swing. It was a called strike. Catcher A.J. DeMastri dropped it, but was able to rifle down to first base for the second out of the inning. Brings up the captain, Victor Izquierdo for the midshipmen. Right-handed hitting first baseman, 1 for 3 with a couple walks yesterday in the midst of a 5-game on-base streak. Had the game-winning sacrifice fly in Navy's midweek 8-7 win over Coppin, driving in Henry Mitchell for the win. The pitch, line drive, base hit up the middle for Victor Izquierdo. As he reaches first base with 2 away on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Eisler that came off his bat at 88 miles per hour. The designated hitter, Andrew Manning. Manning batting cleanup. Had the breakout year last year. All Patriot League second team. 3 for 5. With an RBI versus Marshall back on that road trip a couple weekends ago, was 2 for 4 with a stolen base in the field, playing in right field yesterday. Looks back at the clock that times him in the plate. Victor Izquierdo Pretty good lead off of first base. First that we've seen Nate Eisler out of the stretch. The 6'6" goes, and running is Victor Izquierdo, diving in safely for the stolen base. Head first slide by Big Vic. And in there, in scoring position for the midshipman. Izquierdo now a perfect 3 for 3, stealing bases for Navy. And Big, with 2 away, getting him out there to second. RBI potential now for Andrew Manning. The count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swung on and missed at 92 miles per hour. Mentioned in the pregame that the Big Green falling a couple times last weekend down in Louisiana to second-ranked LSU, 5-2, and then 3-0. So pretty impressive against the number 2 team in the nation. The delivery in for a strike, called third strike, ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And Victor Izquierdo is left at second base. We move to the second, no score. Navy and Dartmouth as Navy baseball returns in a moment. To the second, no score, Navy and Dartmouth. Navy baseball returns here to Max Bishop Stadium tomorrow afternoon, closing out this 4-game series with Dartmouth at 1 o'clock. It's at noon, 12 noon. It's Navy Pinstripe Button Giveaway Day, along with post-game player autographs after the game. As we do every Sunday, kids in attendance will be invited to run the bases following the game. Be sure to come out to the ballpark. Enjoy this great weekend of baseball. Tomorrow, noon, against Dartmouth to close out the 4-game weekend series before the midshipmen head out on the road for spring break week, midweek game in Norfolk, and then next weekend beginning their Patriot League schedule against Lehigh on the road. You're listening to Navy Baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members are the mission, insured by NCUA. Stephen DiCorrado will lead things off in the second for Dartmouth. The Canadian left-handed hitter looks at a first pitch strike from Tyler Gren. His last 4 appearances, all in relief. The right-hander ahead in the count now. 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter in the inning for Dartmouth. As the Navy infield really shades over towards right field. There's a pop-up to left field. Chris Klug, couple steps to his right, makes the put out, 1 down. Tyler last season, 5 quality starts with a 2-3 record, a 4.81 ERA. He had 13 starts, so really a starter all season long. But Coach Restano and Coach Riley looking to maybe develop him as a middle reliever they can really count on possibly in some big Patriot League games down the season. Bouncing ball, Patrick Walsh at third. Rifles over to first. Quickly 2 down in the second. Tyler Gren was first team All-Patriot League a couple of years ago, and an impressive ERA of 1.50 so far this season, and also a whip below 1. Anytime you're below 1, that is a stat that really stands out. 2 down. Working through the order for the first time, Tyler Gren catches the outside corner. Chris Miller, the left fielder, 7th in the order. Didn't really like that call. He'll step back in, gets right up on the plate. Swung through that delivery from Tyler Gren. Tyler from Sherman Oaks, California, went to high school in Encino, California at Cresme Carmelite High School. Winds and fires. Just misses. Low and away at 88 miles per hour. The TrackMan showing that right on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score. Navy and Dartmouth, first of a doubleheader this afternoon. Low in the turf, blocked behind the plate by Ty DePerno. Webb Turner is the home plate umpire. Thurman Berry at first base. Calvin Baker, third base umpire, is assigned by the Patriot League here this afternoon. Both Navy and Dartmouth with a hit in the first inning. Swung on and missed. Strikes him out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We move to the bottom of the second. No score between Navy and Dartmouth. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Bottom of the second inning, scoreless. Navy and Dartmouth here in Annapolis. The number 1 seeded Navy men's basketball team continues their run at a Patriot League championship at Alumni Hall tomorrow afternoon as they host Boston University in the semifinals at 1 o'clock. Don't miss out on the Patriot League tournament action here at Annapolis. March Madness is underway. Thursday night's crowd made a big difference. And Navy's come from behind quarterfinal win over Bucknell, so looking to pack Alumni Hall again early tomorrow afternoon for the semifinals. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. And what an atmosphere it was at Alumni Hall. The brigade turning out in force, and all sorts of folks from all over the Annapolis area and really across the state of Maryland coming in to see this midshipman team that is 1 win away from a Patriot League championship game, and a win there would send the midshipmen to the NCAA basketball tournament. So like I said, March Madness underway here on the yard tomorrow. The semifinals against the Boston University Terriers. Nate Eisler delivers for the Big Green of Dartmouth. First pitch strike to Patrick Walsh. 0 for 3 with a walk. A couple strikeouts yesterday. Comes into the ball game as Navy's leading hitter, batting .310. Leads the mids with 3 triples. Had a couple RBI midweek in that win against Coppin. The 6'6" right-handers. Pitch misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ty DePerno, the catcher, on deck for the midshipmen. And Jake Hooten out in center field today. He's in the hole. Blocked behind the plate by A.J. DeMastri, the catcher for the Big Green in their green jerseys, black sleeves, white slacks, green hat with the big D for Dartmouth on the front. Back to the screen. Off the bat of Patrick Walsh. 6'1", 210 pounds. From Huntersville, North Carolina. Was out here earlier in the week during batting practice, and you can tell he spends a lot of time in the weight room. Called third strike in tight to Patrick Walsh. So 1 away, and he gives a couple words to Ty DePerno as he walks in towards the batter's box. Let him know what he saw from Nate Eisler. green runs deep in the Eisler family. Nate's father, a 1996 Dartmouth grad, played baseball for the Big Green. Had a career average of .396, did Nate Eisler's father at Dartmouth. 5th all-time in Dartmouth history. Misses high to Ty DePerno. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. Bottom of the 2nd inning. No score between Navy and Dartmouth. First of 2 this afternoon. At 91 miles per hour. So we have seen a bunch of pitches, 90 and above, up to 93 for Eisler. Ty DePerno, bouncing ball into the hole, which was a big hole. Boy, what a shift they had on for Ty DePerno. He says, nuts to that. Just punches it between first and second. Normally it would have been right at the second baseman, Camden Rush, but he was almost all the way behind second base. So heads up ball from Ty DePerno. Gets himself on first base with 1 out. Behind the plate this afternoon was a designated hitter in yesterday's game, given a well-deserved day off behind the plate midweek against Compton and also in the series finale against St. Bonaventure. Jake Hooten, freshman center fielder, checks his swing, fouled over towards the Dartmouth dugout. Bottom of the order now for the midshipman. Extended his hitting streak to 4 games against Compton State, a hitting streak that ended yesterday. Diving back into first is Ty DePerno, as Jake was 0 for 4 with a walk. Struck out 3 times. Got his first career hit in his first start in a series opener last weekend on Friday against St. Bonaventure's with a runner at first now. 1 strike. Ty DePerno dives back in. Ty has stolen 1 base in 1 attempt so far this season. Gets a good lead off of first. Out of the stretch, Nate Eisler. Catches the outside corner. Framed nicely by catcher A.J. Demastri as the trackman showed the ball outside the strike zone, but the Dartmouth catcher framing that strike zone gets the call. 0-2 the count to Jake Hooten. Checks his swing, it was high at 93 miles per hour with Ty DePerno on first base after the second hit of the ball game for the midshipman. Victor Izquierdo had a base hit, stole a base in the first, was stranded at second. Now Ty DePerno is on at first with 1 out, and the count 1-2 to Jake Hooten. DePerno takes off. The ball is dropped by the catcher, A.J. Demastri, and it was a ball. So it evens the count at 2-2, and it sends Ty DePerno down to second base. He is 2 for 2 stealing bases in this young season. So a runner in scoring position with 1 away for the plebe center fielder. Eisler looks back at DePerno at second. Misses outside. Full count. Light breeze blowing out towards left field for the right-handed hitter, Hooten. Looks at that one, miss. So down to first base. Nice job by Jake Hooten. Was behind in the count, 0-2, and worked it to a full count, then looked at ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out for Navy. Brings up the shortstop, Tyler Kripe, who has seen a lot of time at second base this season, but with the injury yesterday to Henry Manning, he has moved over to shortstop, and Noah Ditas is playing at second base, as he did for most of the game yesterday. First pitch strike. Bottom of the order for the midshipmen. With 2 runners on, 1 out. Ty DePerno after the base hit and stolen base at second base. Jake Hooten after the walk at first. Line drive into left field, just foul. rifling it off the bat at 93 miles per hour off a 92 mile per hour pitch and just outside the lines. Also doing a nice job getting out of the way. Adam Pavkovich, the third base coach for the midshipmen. Chris Bosco, a former assistant coach at Dartmouth, over at first base. Leading off second, Ty DePerno. Looks as he sees that pitch into his teammate Tyler Kripe. High for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kripe, left-handed hitting. The throw to second. Ty DePerno back in safely. So Ty getting a good workout in the base pass. Not only the stolen base, but was dove back and then I think 2 or 3 times to first base before he stole the base, and just there diving back into second base. Another throw back, easily in for DePerno. Tyler, 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout yesterday. Also had a walk midweek against Compton and an RBI back in the home opener midweek against Delaware State. Day he will remember. Misses inside. Third start of the season for Nate Eisler, junior right-hander, 6'6", 235 pounds, from Milton, Georgia, Cambridge High School. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fouled back to the screen. Scott Wyckoff along with our director, Britton McMahon. Marshall Filipowicz, Navy Assistant Sports Information Director for Baseball, alongside here as the midshipmen. And Big Green played the second game of this weekend series. Navy dropped a 3-1 ball game yesterday. Inside for a strike 3, called on Tyler Kripe, 2 away. Low, catching that inside corner. Took a little bit off it at 84 miles per hour from Nate Eisler. And 2 down now. Bottom of the order for the midshipman, second baseman, Noah Adidas. Adidas, right-handed hitter. Likes to get up on the plate. 1 for 3 with a walk. It second yesterday. Looks at that pitch high. Navy, no runs, 2 hits. 2 runners on here in the second. Dartmouth, no runs, 1 hit. Adidas lines it foul down the right field line. On this cloudy day, helping things out on our YouTube broadcast, the lights are on. Shining down on Terwilliger Brothers Field here at Max Bishop Stadium. Inside the Pines along King George Street. The right-hander Eisler delivers. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Might have fouled it back into the glove for Noah Adidas. The sophomore from American Heritage High School in Miami, Florida. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Low and away. All sorts of players in Chuck Ristano's recruiting eyesight in his first 3 seasons now with the midshipmen from South Florida. Players that bring a lot of experience with them to the Naval Academy, playing a lot of baseball, fall, spring, and summer. Fouled off to the right side. Had a great chance earlier this week to talk to Navy freshman pitcher Owen Vipers, who is off to a great start this year. Already a Patriot League Pitcher of the Week, a Patriot League Rookie of the Week, and he, along with a couple of his teammates, played their high school baseball at St. John Newman High School. Pitch, the runners go. Misses outside. The midshipmen advance with no throw. So 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs. Aggressive base running, the staple of any Chuck Ristano coach team here at the Naval Academy we've seen over the last couple seasons into this year. Ty DePerno, couple stolen bases. Bouncing ball off the plate, foul. And if you want to hear the interview I did with Owen Vipers, you can check it out at Navy Athletics. Just go to the baseball page. You can also check it out at WBAL.com, my day job at WBAL Radio in Baltimore, and also on my social media at Scott Wyckoff WBAL. The pitch fouled away. It's a full count to Noah Adidas. With 2 away, runners at second and third. It's Ty DePerno at third base. Jake Hooten at second base. Adidas swung on and missed. Strikes out to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A couple runners left. We move to the third. No score. Navy and Dartmouth. Navy baseball returns in a moment. We move to the third. No score between Navy and Dartmouth. A doubleheader here this afternoon in Annapolis. First game scheduled for 7 innings. Second game, 9 innings. So if you're around town, maybe running some errands, taking care of some business today, still a lot of time to come on out to Max Bishop Stadium. Free. Was down on the field during batting practice. Smelled the dogs and burgers on the grill. Also plenty of choices in the concession stand, including ice cold beer. Coming off a record-setting regular season, the top-seeded Navy women's basketball team opens Patriot League tournament play on Monday night at Alumni Hall at 7 in the quarterfinals against the winner of today's BU American game. Tickets only $10. Call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. So, a season that has seen the Navy men and women end the regular season in the Patriot League in basketball as the top seeds. The final game of the season, I believe it was Wednesday, a win over Loyola for Tim Taylor's basketball team. Bouncing ball, foul, where it's gloved by Patrick Walsh. Had a nice Zoom call with Coach Taylor before he went out on a recruiting trip before the beginning of the Patriot League playoffs on Monday. Was really excited about the way his team has responded over the season and earning that top seed throughout the Patriot League tournament. Misses on the outside corner. Bottom of the order to lead off the top of the third. Camden Rush, right-handed hitting second baseman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyler Gren kind of handcuffed Ty DePerno behind the plate there. You saw Ty kind of turned away as it hit his glove and then bounced back off. No harm, no foul. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gren struck him out. Got him to go for a pitch outside the strike zone at 88 miles per hour. Third strikeout of the ball game for the Navy starter. 1 away. Team's really struggling at the plate against Tyler Gren this season, only batting .209. 11th strikeout of the season for the senior right-hander whose pitch misses inside. Alejandro Puig, the shortstop, batting 9th for Dartmouth. Batting number 2 here in the inning with 1 away. Swung on and missed. He sings threw an 87-mile-per-hour delivery right down the pipe from Tyler Gren. Tyler's father played college baseball at Iowa State. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Make it 2 strikes on the 88-mile-per-hour fastball right at the knees from Tyler Gren. Navy defensively pretty much straight away. No Adidas, the second baseman, shaded over toward second base on the outfield turf. Misses outside. Evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Puig, sophomore from Pembroke Pines, Florida. 6 foot, 170 pounds. Right-handed hitter. Flies one to right field. Mason Ceccarelli comes in hard. Dives! Can't make the catch. It gets by him. Puig into second base. Standing up with a double. A good effort by Mason Ceccarelli in right field, diving for the ball, but was able to knock it down enough that it did not get to the wall. But quickly on the base pass was Puig down to second base. So with 1 away, it's a double and a runner in scoring position for Dartmouth. The Big Green, 3 wins, 4 losses. That 3rd win yesterday, taking game 1 of this series, scoring 2 in the first off of Brady Bendick, but a quality start for Bendick. 6 inning pitched, 3 runs, 2 earned, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts. Fouled back over top Fitzgerald Clubhouse here at Max Bishop Stadium. A real pitcher's duel yesterday. Navy limited to just 5 hits. Trey Shanaha with the win on the mound for Dartmouth, 2-0 this season. Mac Burke with his 2nd save. Some good relief innings for the midshipmen of the bullpen. Jackson Clark and Aiden Lucero. And hit by the pitch. So down to first base goes the leadoff hitter, Nico Banez. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Dartmouth. Tayer Rodriguez. Oh for 1. Second time around the order for Dartmouth against Tyler Gren. Out of the stretch. The pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. With Puig on its second, Banez gets a good lead at first because Victor Izquierdo will not hold him on the bag. Midshipman looking for get a double play out of this with 1 away. 1 strike count. Fly ball again to right field. This time it will drop in just inside the line. Ceccarelli picks it up. First run of the ball game scored by Dartmouth as Puig running hard from second base in across home plate. And 1-0, Dartmouth with the lead with runners now at second and third here in the 3rd inning. 3rd hit of the ball game, 2nd hit to right field this inning, and it was Alejandro Puig who had the base hit, who scored from second base. Actually, it was a double, so he was at second and scored. And that's the first run of the ball game, and we'll see our first trip to the mound by Navy pitching coach Tim Riley to talk things over with Tyler Gren and the Navy infield. Tim's 4th season as the Mids pitching coach after spending 5 seasons at Patriot League rival Lafayette. Served as an assistant coach under former Navy assistant Joe Kinney for 3 years, and then as the head coach for 2 seasons before coming to Navy. And it really says a lot about Tim Riley as he stayed on with the arrival of Chuck Restano, and of course Chuck Restano, the longtime pitching coach, not only at Notre Dame, but that 1 season at Florida State, Temple, Monmouth, his alma mater, Sacred Heart, and he was really impressed with what he saw from Tim Riley. They have worked nicely together, kind of a collaborative effort with the Navy pitching staff. So now the midshipmen with the infield in. The pitch for a strike. So all 4 midshipmen infielders on the green of the turf with runners at second and third. 1 out, 1 run scored for Dartmouth. Breaking ball. Just a little inside at 87 miles per hour from Tyler Gren. Gren's 44th pitch of the ball game. Top of the third inning. 1 run is scored for Dartmouth. From the stretch. Fouled it off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. It was Dartmouth scoring first yesterday in the 3-1 win in the first inning. Scored their 2 runs of their 3 in the first off of Brady Bendick. Then 1 in the 6th. Gets away, back to the screen, and the second run of the ball game comes across for Dartmouth. Scoring is Nico Banez. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Big Green with a runner now on third with 1 out and the count 2-2 to Axel Reese. So a wild pitch from Tyler Gren. Back to the screen, scores another run. Dartmouth out in front 2-0. Bouncing ball to short. The throw home. Ty DePerno with the tag. Got him. Nice play by Tyler Kripe on the fielder's choice ground out with the Navy infield in. Making sure not another run scores. Reaching first is Axel Reese, but not before the midshipmen are able to gun down the runner at the plate. The throw from Tyler Kripe and putting down the nice tag, Ty DePerno. 2 down now in the top of the third. 2 runs scored for Dartmouth. Runner at first base. The catcher, A.J. DeMastri, 5'11", 200 pounds from Woodstock, Georgia. Tyler Gren throws it over to Victor Izquierdo. DeMastri flew out to left field to end the first inning. Open stance for the junior. Runner takes off the pitch, throw down to second base. Nice throw, Ty DePerno. Looked very close. He gunned it. Had to step all the way into the left batter's box to get the pitch. We're pretty far away here from up high atop the Fitzgerald Clubhouse press box, but a very close play at second base. But with the stolen base is Axel Reese. So Reese down at second in scoring position with 2 down. Line drive foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Dartmouth, they're 2 runs on 3 hits. No runs for the Mids on a pair of hits. From Victor Izquierdo and Mason Ceccarelli. The count's even at 1. Gren's pitch. Fouled now to the right side. Just past the Dartmouth dugout. Dartmouth College, Hanover, New Hampshire. With all the terrible weather that they get up there, they start their season with a 15-game road trip. These are games 9 and 10 today. Fouled back again, this time back towards my car. When I came in, I saw the cones in the parking lot, thinking, oh, wow, maybe there's a kind of cool celebrity parking spot saved for me. I kept looking at them, and my name is not Navy baseball personnel, so I did not park in them, but they were the good spots. I figured, why not park right where they hit the foul balls. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In a little low. Ty DePerno keeps it in front of him, the ball bouncing in the turf. Evens at 2-2 with 2 away. Runner at second base, Axel Reese. 2 runs have scored here in the top of the third inning for Dartmouth to take the 2-0 lead. Another foul ball pulled down the right field line out towards College Creek off the bat of catcher A.J. DeMastri. A 284-foot foul ball down by where they park the visiting bus for Dartmouth. Well open on that stance. This time back to the screen. Navy shortstop Tyler Kripe, who made the nice play throwing out the runner at home plate. Now shaded over towards second base with the left-handed hitter for Dartmouth. Count remains 2-2. Throw to second. This time it's no Adidas. Try to sneak over there. Puts the tag down. Axel Reese is able to slide back in safely. readjust the oven glove that he wears running the base pass. Tyler Gren trying to get out of this one. Misses away. Full count. The designated hitter, Stefan DeCorrado, is on deck for Dartmouth. Tyler Gren would like to face him in the fourth as he looks to get the third out here in the third. Right up the middle, between his legs, past a diving Tyler Kripe. Reese will score from second base. And it's a 3-0 lead for Dartmouth on the 2-run single up the middle off the bat of A.J. DeMastri. He is 1 for 2 on the afternoon with an RBI now right through the wicket between the legs of Tyler Gren as he finished his delivery and came off the mound. Nothing he could do with that one, but Tyler Kripe almost got it diving behind second base. Third run of the ball game for Dartmouth. All three here in the third. Fouled back by Stefan DeCorrado. 6'2", 210 pounds from the suburbs of Toronto. From the left side of the plate, DeMastri leads off first where he dives back. Not much of a lead down there. And right now, straight away in center field is Jake Hooten. Shaded over towards second base, Tyler Kripe. Outside for a ball at 88 miles per hour. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 3 runs scored here in the third for Dartmouth. On 3 hits. There's a pop-up right behind second base. Tyler Kripe steps back and makes the put out. 3 Dartmouth runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave 1 to the bottom of the third. Dartmouth 3, Navy nothing, with Navy baseball returning in a moment. Dartmouth opening up a 3-0 lead as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Navy men's lacrosse tickets are on sale now. Join us at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium all season long as the men's lacrosse team hosts 3 more exciting home games, including a huge matchup with in-state rival Loyola. For tickets, call 1-800-US4-NAVY or visit NavySports.com. And going on right now at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, Navy has rallied in men's lacrosse to take a 16-11 lead with just 1:09 to go in the ball game. The midshipmen were down in this one 7-4 in the second quarter and have come back to take that 16-11 lead. So it looks as though it's going to be another win for Joe Amplo's midshipmen heading into this spring break week at home against Bucknell. An ever important win in the Patriot League. Chris Klug leads things off for the midshipmen here in the third inning with some work to do, falling behind yesterday 2-0 in the loss 3-1 to Dartmouth, and have fallen behind in game 1 of this doubleheader 3-0 here. Nate Eisler returns on the mound. Little chin music at 89 miles per hour to Chris Klug. Klug flew out to left field to lead off the ball game. First pitch ball to him as the right-hander delivers. misses high and away. Ahead in the count is Klug. Takes a deep breath, steps back in, his right foot on the back of the batter's box. There's a breaking ball, hits it high, back into left center field where Nico Banez gives way to Chris Miller, who makes a put out and one away. Mason Ceccarelli, who has a base hit in the ball game. Also, nice play in right field, even though he didn't make the catch, diving for a ball, keeping it from going to the wall in the second inning. Mason Ceccarelli extending his 10-game on-base streak dating back to last season, which ended back on Friday last week against St. Bonaventure in a series that he went 3 for 11. Yesterday it was the home run, starting a new streak on base. It extended here today for Mason Ceccarelli. Swung on and missed. Taking a little bit off that one at 83 miles per hour. Nate Eisler. Mason Ceccarelli and Victor Izquierdo lead the midshipmen with 2 home runs apiece. Checks, looks down to third base umpire Calvin Baker, who says he did not go. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Another big weekend of sports, both here on the yard at the Naval Academy and away for Navy's 36 varsity sports, all sorts of action, including Navy going on, looks to win in men's lacrosse right now. It's things wind down against Bucknell for the midshipmen, and also the big women's lacrosse game is swung on and missed. The strikeout. Mason Ceccarelli, 2 down for the midshipmen. Eisler's 6th strikeout of the ball game. Navy's women's lacrosse team in Tampa against USF last weekend, knocking off number 7 Florida. So the midshipmen jumped all the way from 10 in the rankings to number 5. The pitch to Victor Izquierdo. Big shift on Big Vic. Second baseman Camden Rush is behind second base. The last time Dartmouth did it, it paid off for the midshipmen because Ty DePerno saw a big shift on him, and he just punched it through that hole between first and second, which is there now for Victor Izquierdo. The count, 1 ball to the Navy captain. Fouls it straight back. In addition to being captain of the baseball team, he's also on that council of captains, all the different captains of the more than 30 sports on the yard here. They do quite a bit to continue their leadership off the field. Ground ball right up the middle. This time the shift works. The second baseman, Camden Rush, right behind second base, makes the put out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, 3 complete in Annapolis. Dartmouth 3, Navy nothing. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Navy's 5th-ranked women's lacrosse team returns to Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on Tuesday, March 10th as they take on Jacksonville at 2 o'clock. It'll be $2 Tuesday, and fans will be able to enjoy $2 popcorn from the concession stand. All home Navy women's lacrosse games are free to attend. Hope to see you there. And today, down in Tampa, the Midshipmen knocking off South Florida 19-8, building on that 5th national ranking. The Midshipmen opened up a quick 5-1 lead after the first quarter and never looked back. Navy women's lacrosse winning today in Tampa over South Florida 19-8. And also a win today for the Midshipmen men's lacrosse team, as the Midshipmen's baseball team looks to get back in this one, trailing Dartmouth 3-0 here in the top of the 4th inning in Annapolis. Tyler Gren on the mound for the Midshipmen. In his 3 innings pitched, has given up those 3 runs on 4 hits, all 3 earned, 3 strikeouts. That one double has thrown 61 pitches now here into the 4th. 1 ball and 1 strike to Milo Suarez. Suarez lets one into the gap, deep into left center field, up against the wall. He will round second and put on the brakes with a lead-off double for Dartmouth to get things going here in the 4th inning. So the Big Green first baseman finds himself now at second base. And left fielder Chris Miller steps in. Miller struck out in the 2nd. Suarez now 1 for 2 with that double. Takes the lead off of second base. Middle of the order right now for the Big Green. Breaking ball for a strike from Tyler Gren. 3 runs, 5 hits for Dartmouth. No runs, 2 hits for Navy. Top of the 4th inning. From the stretch, scoring to bunt. Pops it down the first baseline. Foul. So behind in the count at 0-2 is Chris Miller. Has already made a couple putouts in left field in this one. Games 6 and 7 today of Navy's 8-game homestand. A homestand that saw them last weekend take 2 of 3 against St. Bonaventure, take a midweek game here against Coppin State, and lose the opener of this series yesterday 3-1 to Dartmouth, who has a runner on second with nobody out. Breaking ball low in the turf, stopped by Ty DePerno. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chris Miller. Miller, 6'3", from Dardendale, Arkansas. Fouls it off the plate and his shin. So that ball will go back into the pocket. A home plate umpire, Webb Turner, puts another one into the glove of Ty DePerno. Relays it back out to Tyler Gren, senior right-hander from Sherman Oaks, California. From the stretch, sets at the letters, looks back to second base and delivers. Low and away at 76 miles per hour. Camden Rush, who Tyler Gren struck out in the 3rd, is on deck for Dartmouth. The count is even at 2. Ground ball in the hole. Glove, nope, got by Tyler Kripe. Rounding 3rd, the throw home. Here it is, got him! A hard tag by Ty DePerno on the diving Milo Suarez, trying to score from second base on the hard hit ball to left field. And what a play by Chris Klug, fielding that ball on a line to Ty DePerno, putting down the tag, and the Midshipmen gunned down the runner at home plate for the 2nd time here this afternoon. They're going to advance the runner, Chris Miller, to second base on his base hit to left field. But the important thing was the Midshipmen got the run out at the plate. 1 away. Swung on and missed. 88 miles per hour. So maybe a little momentum swing now on the great play. The combination of Chris Klug and Ty DePerno. Tyler Kripe and Patrick Walsh both diving for the hard hit ball in the hole to left field that Klug came up with and gunned down the runner at home plate. Bouncing ball towards short. Kripe will glove and get it over to first. 2 down with Miller now to third for Dartmouth. Henry Mitchell injured in the first inning yesterday against Dartmouth. Out of the lineup today, so that sees Tyler Kripe move from second base to shortstop, and Noah Ditas, who played second base after that move was made yesterday, is at second base again here today in game 1. So the runner at third for Dartmouth with 2 outs. Pitches low to Alejandro Puig, the Dartmouth shortstop, who scored the game's first run. Bouncing ball foul off the arm of his third base coach. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the order now for Dartmouth. Nico Banez is on deck with 2 down. And Navy holding the score at 3-0, throwing out the runner at home plate from left field. Howitzer from Chris Klug. And Ty DePerno just putting that tag down on the helmet of Milo Suarez. Called out at the plate by home plate umpire Webb Turner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Gren from the stretch. Close on the outside corner, right there at 88 miles per hour. So Tyler falls behind in the count 3-1. Puig with his right foot almost halfway out of the batter's box and looks at a pitch that was also very close this time, low at 87 miles per hour, earns the walk. So runners at the corners with 2 outs for Dartmouth. They lead Navy 3-0. Nico Banez, the senior from Orlando, Florida, 5'8", 175 pounds, for interim head coach Blake McFadden. The top of the order for the Big Green. Swung on and missed from the big right-hander for Navy, 6'2", Tyler Gren. Gren sets up on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch call through the little speaker in his cap. Throws over to first. Puig able to dive back in. Chris Miller at third base. 1 strike, the count. Banez loops one to left field. That will score a run with 2 outs. Chris Miller crosses the plate. And it's now a 4-0 lead for Dartmouth. Their 7th hit of the ball game off of Tyler Gren. A 2-out base hit to left field. 2 runners on with 2 away at first and second for the Big Green. Tayer Rodriguez. Rodriguez 1 for 2 with a double. Reached on a wild pitch. Misses outside. 3 runs in the third, 1 here in the fourth, adding up to 4-0 for Dartmouth over Navy. Fouled it down towards the Navy class of 71 dugout. A lot of the midshipmen wearing their sweatshirts, some in their cool new jackets, the Navy pinstripe uniform jacket, which is actually a blue jacket with the script Navy. Fouls it down towards third base. Tomorrow, big promotion here. It's the pinstripe button promotion. Really cool. Saw Eric Beatty, the marketing director for Navy baseball here at the Naval Academy, brought a couple up to the press box. Great lineup we'll go through as the ball game moves on. A lot of the promotions announced here in the last week or so for the season. Autographs and run the bases also tomorrow. So another big day of Navy baseball as Navy and Dartmouth wrap up this 4-game weekend series. 12 noon first pitch. Pitch here is swung on and missed. And Tyler Wren strikes him out to end the inning. But not before the Big Green score a run. They lead it now 4-0 to the bottom of the 4th as Navy baseball returns in a moment. What's his number? Bottom of the 4th, Dartmouth adding to their lead, now 4-0 as the midshipmen come up. Navy football season tickets are on sale now. Join us all season long for 5 home games at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Enjoy one of the best atmospheres in all of college football by getting your season tickets. Navy returning 12 starters off a team that won a school record-tying 11 games last season, defeating Army and Air Force, winning another Commander-in-Chief's trophy. Navy will kick off the 2026 season at home on September 5th against Towson. The Mids will also face Notre Dame at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Then, of course, the 127th Army-Navy game presented by USAA on Saturday, December 12th at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Andrew Manning leads it off in the 4th for the Mids. Down 4 runs. The designated hitter. First pitch strike, and boy, what a day it was for Navy football, but really for Navy athletics and the whole Naval Academy. On Thursday, it was Navy Pro Day, where all the Navy seniors that are being considered to possibly go in the draft or be signed by NFL teams. There were 22 NFL scouts out at Rip Miller Field. Really impressive performance by Landon Robinson, who was snubbed at the NFL Combine, but was really impressive. Swung on and missed by Andrew Manning. Behind the count now, 1-2 to lead it off in the 4th. Landon, I think, had the best 40-yard dash time of any defensive lineman at the Combine or anywhere this season. Bouncing ball, slow roller off the bat of Andrew Manning, and he's tagged out at first by Milo Suarez, who was tagged out at home plate by Ty DePerno last inning. He makes the tag now on Andrew Manning. 1 up, 1 down for the midshipmen. Down 4-0. Patrick Walsh 0 for 1. His second look at Dartmouth starter Nate Eisler, junior right-hander. Every bit of that 6'6", 235 pounds. Misses on the breaking ball inside to the Navy third baseman. Holds that bat high from the left-handed hitting batter's box. Low and inside at 91 miles per hour. Evens the count at a ball and a strike with 1 out. The middle of the midshipman order here in the 4th. That misses inside. Nate Eisler looking for his first win of the season in his 3rd start. Pitched last a week ago today in relief against Grambling on the road. Swung on and missed by Patrick Walsh. A game that saw him in 4 innings of relief, allow 3 runs and 3 hits. So far, he has allowed no runs into the 4th against the midshipmen. There's a bouncing ball to first. Suarez gloves it, flips it to Eisler, who makes the put out at first, and 2 are down. Eisler, a government major, had 10 starts last year, tied for most for the Big Green. And he has 2 down now in the 4th inning. Ty DiPerno made that nice play at the plate, tagging out the runner. He's 1 for 1. Had that base hit through the hole over between first and second, and once again, it'll be the shift. So interim head coach Blake McFadden moves his second baseman Camden Rush right behind second base. Last time they did this, it worked for them because the ball was hit right to him off the bat of Victor Izquierdo. Before that, it was Ty DiPerno finding that big hole between first and second. Finds himself now with a 1-1 count and 2 outs. The Navy catcher looks at the ball low in the turf at 82 miles per hour. Jake Hooten, who walked and stole a base in the second after that base hit by Ty DiPerno. They were both stranded on deck now. Called strike from home plate umpire Webb Turner at 91 miles per hour. So the fastest pitch we've seen so far this afternoon from Nate Eisler, 93 miles per hour. There's a breaking ball and struck him out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, 4 complete. Dartmouth 4, Navy nothing. Navy baseball returns on YouTube in a moment.
Pitching for Navy, number 13, David Posey.
Top of the 5th inning, Dartmouth 4, Navy nothing. First pitching change of the ball game. David Posey making his college debut for the midshipmen on in relief of Tyler Gren. David 6'4", 220 pounds from Wexford, Pennsylvania, North Allegheny High School. And in the start for the mids, Tyler Gren, 4 innings pitched, 4 runs on 7 hits, all 4 runs earned, walked 1, struck out 4, did have a wild pitch, hit a batter, and threw 84 pitches in his 3rd start of the season, and now gives way to David Posey. Posey making his collegiate debut on the mound for the midshipmen in relief here in the 5th inning, needing to shut the door on this Dartmouth offense that has jumped out to the 4-0 lead in the first game of this doubleheader here this afternoon. We'll take a break here on Navy Athletics YouTube for about half hour or 40 minutes or so once this one is over, scheduled for 7, and then be back for the doubleheader, which also gives you the opportunity, if you're anywhere near here in the Annapolis area, really anywhere in central Maryland, still a lot of time to get over to the ballpark. Max Bishop Stadium here. The great thing is it is outside the gate, so no problem getting on the yard. You're outside the gates on the yard, able to drive right up and park here at the ballpark. Good crowd on hand, but plenty of seats and great areas to watch the ball game. Great concessions, merchandise on sale. A lot of fun to watch Navy baseball, and a couple opportunities here this afternoon and also tomorrow with this series wrapping up at noon. Dartmouth and Navy. Posey from the stretch, first pitch of his college career at the Naval Academy is a ball high and outside at 84 miles per hour. Misses high. Spent the 2024-25 academic year at Avon Old Farms, one of the Naval Academy Foundation School, a East Coast prep school. The right-hander delivers. Misses away. Falls behind the count. 3 balls, no strike. Just that one season at Avon Old Farms. Played 4 years of baseball at North Allegheny High School from Wexford, Pennsylvania, so that one postgraduate year. Delivery in for a strike. His first strike of his midshipman career from the right-hander. 3 balls, 1 strike. Leadoff hitter up for Dartmouth. And they are up 4-0 on the midshipman. Misses away. Axel Reese with the walk. Down to first base. Reese is 1 for 2 now with a walk, a base hit, and a run scored. Also stole a base. A.J. DeMastri, who is 1 for 2 with a base hit and an RBI. Tim Riley out to the mound. Brings the Navy infield in together to talk to David Posey just to settle him down. A big moment. Want to take a deep breath and get settled in there. First runner that he has on base. So Tim, real quick to come out and give him encouragement. Today's Navy baseball game is brought to you by Hawkeye 330, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Might stop off at the Lodge Annapolis after this one, and right on my way home, drove by thinking about it here on Thursday after Navy Pro Day. There's a fly ball down the right field line, and it is a home run. Waiting for the call from first base umpire Thurman Berry. He raises his left hand just inside the foul pole. A 2-run home run, and Dartmouth has gone on top 6-0. A.J. DeMastri with the home run crosses home plate after the leadoff hitter Axel Reese reached on the walk.
Now batting number 11, Stefan DiCorrado.
So DeMastri's first home run of the season, and it is a blast to right field. Just a matter of whether it was going to be fair or foul, and it was a fair ball just inside the foul pole. Fouled right back to the screen. Stefan DiCorrado, 0 for 2. So 3 RBI this afternoon for DeMastri. The 2-run home run and a run-scoring base hit in the third. It's added up to a 6-0 lead for Dartmouth. 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 so far here in the fifth. No outs. Count is 1-1. David Posey, the right-handed reliever, misses outside at 84 miles per hour. Posey's brother Aaron, a catcher for the Kennesaw State baseball team down in Georgia, as he delivers. Catches the outside corner at 84 miles per hour. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. David takes a deep breath, looking to get his first out. Will set and deliver. There's a breaking ball. Fouled away by DiCorrado. 6'2", 210-pound sophomore. Stefan steps out of the box and back in now. Middle of the order for the Big Green, who are out in front 6-0. There's a breaking ball flown to left field. Chris Klug, a couple steps to his right, makes the put out. First out. Nice job by David Posey to get that out. Now settle down here in his first appearance on the mound for the midshipman. And he faces Milo Suarez, the senior first baseman from Pinecrest, Florida. 5'10", 180 pounds. Open stance, breaking ball, and it's 70 miles per hour for a strike. Suarez 1 for 2 had a double in his last at bat against Tyler Gren in the 4th inning. Batting here in the 5th. 0-1 count. That one's high, evens it at 1. 2 relievers used by the midshipmen yesterday. Jackson Clark and Aiden Lucero, perfect out of the bullpen in 1 2/3 innings for Jackson Clark and an inning and a third for Aiden Lucero in relief of a great performance by Brady Bendick. Though with the loss, a quality start, 6 innings pitched, 3 runs, 2 earned, 7 hits, and 5 strikeouts for Brady. Misses. 3 ball, 1 strike. Midshipmen play Suarez straight away, both in the infield and the outfield. There's a pitch high. Second walk of the inning from Posey. So Suarez is down to first base with 1 out. Midshipmen like to try to get out of this with the double play. Chris Miller, 6'3", 215-pound left fielder. Arkansanian with a runner at first base. Miller, 1 for 2, scored in the 4th after his hit, the base hit, and struck out in the 2nd. And he pops that one straight back. Ty DiPerno comes back to the screen and dives, can't make the catch. That ball had a lot of spin on it. It looked as though it was going to come all the way back here to where we are at the Fitzgerald clubhouse. And then with the wind starting to blow out a little bit, it came back towards the field. And Ty diving, not able to make the catch. As Victor Izquierdo will pick up his helmet and mask and give it back to him after that nice effort back behind the plate. The foul ball, strike to Chris Miller. 0-1 the count. Runner at first base is Suarez. Suarez walked. He takes off. Breaking ball. In for a strike, but kind of handcuffs Ty DiPerno. So in at second base with the stolen base is Suarez with an 0-2 count to Chris Miller and 1 away. Suarez, a perfect 3 for 3 with stolen bases this season. Another breaking ball, a little bit low. At 70 miles per hour from David Posey. On in relief for Tyler Gren, starting out the 5th inning that has seen a 2-run home run by A.J. DeMastri to put Dartmouth out in front 6-0. The runner takes off from second, and it gets away from Ty DiPerno, blocks it, but diving safely into third base is Suarez. So he is a perfect 4 for 4 with stolen bases, 2 in this trip to the base pass here after the walk. So that will draw the Navy infield in with 1 down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The delivery, fly ball to left field. Chris Klug turns back, tagging at third will be Suarez, and he will easily be able to score, giving Dartmouth a 7-0 lead on the sacrifice fly to left field. Off the bat of Chris Miller. Camden Rush 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out short. Up now with 2 outs. As Dartmouth has not trailed in this series. They scored 2 in the first yesterday on the way to a 3-1 win. And they've jumped out to the lead here. Patrick Walsh from third over to first, and that will end the inning. But not before the Big Green scored 3 runs on a hit, a 2-run home run. No errors, nobody left. We move to the bottom of the 5th. Dartmouth 7, Navy nothing. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Jake Hooten will lead it off for the midshipmen here in the home half of the 5th inning. Navy down 7-0 to Dartmouth. Looking for a great way for your kids to spend the summer? Sign up for one of Navy's many sports summer camps, offering a wide range of summer camps for kids of all ages and all skill levels, including Chuck Ristano's Navy baseball summer camps right here on Terwilliger Brothers Field at Max Bishop Stadium. For more information and to register for a Navy summer sports camp, visit navysports.com. Jake Hooten, 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base, was stranded at second base in the 2nd inning, as Nate Eisler was able to get out of some trouble with a runner in scoring position in the 2nd. He struck out the next 2 batters to get out of it. And Jake trying to get back into it here, leading it off for the midshipmen. Looks at a breaking ball for a ball. The right-hander, Eisler. Here into the 5th inning. That was his 73rd pitch. Has allowed no runs on 2 hits. Has struck out 7 with just a single walk. He works very quickly. There's another breaking ball inside at 81 miles per hour. So the junior right-hander ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Bouncing ball right back to Eisler, who flips it over to first base to Milo Suarez, and 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tyler Kripe up for the midshipmen, as it is the bottom of the order in the 5th for Navy now. Tyler 0 for 1, left-handed hitting shortstop, moved to shortstop from second base in the 1st inning yesterday with the injury to Henry Mitchell, and starts at shortstop here today. Sort of made a couple nice plays in the field. Left-handed hitter fouls it straight back over top of the Fitzgerald clubhouse here, back towards the Flugel Alumni Center right across the street on King George Street. The delivery swung on and missed as Eisler is ahead in the count once again. 0-2 to the Navy freshman shortstop. And Alejandro Puig, Dartmouth shortstop, shaded over towards second base. Another ball hit right back to the box to the pitcher. Flips it over to Milo Suarez again. Kind of Groundhog Day on those 2 back-to-back plays. And 2 away for the Mids here in the bottom of the 5th for Dartmouth. 7 runs on 8 hits. Most recently, those 2 runs that got things going in the Dartmouth 5th, the 2-run home run by DeMastri. 7 runs, 8 hits. Navy sends Noah Ditas to the plate. Batting 9th. Ditas struck out in his only plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Head now 2-0. Navy with 2 hits in the ball game from Victor Izquierdo and Mason Ceccarelli. The 2-hit pitcher, Nate Eisler, scoring to bunt is Ditas, pulls his bat back. The pitch is for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Navy's top of the order, the leadoff hitter. On deck is Chris Klug. There's a bouncing ball line, actually a line drive, gloved by Alejandro Puig at shortstop, and that'll do it for the midshipmen in the 5th inning. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 5, 7-0. Dartmouth out in front of Navy. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Bottom of the order, Alejandro Puig will lead things off for Dartmouth as they lead the midshipmen 7-0. Top of the 6th inning. Navy fans, don't forget the online shopping experience offered by our partner Fanatics at NavySports.com. Just click on the Shop tab and find all of the latest Navy Under Armour apparel at great prices. The store is the perfect place to shop for yourself or the Navy fan in your family. See the latest Navy merchandise at NavySports.com. We were looking today at the new Navy pinstripe jersey with the script Navy across the front that is going to be highlighted with the Navy pinstripe button tomorrow. That is online, on sale right now. So if you go to NavySports.com, check out the latest in Navy merchandise, including that really cool pinstripe jersey that the midshipmen will be wearing tomorrow here when this series wraps up. 12 noon, a single game, Navy and Dartmouth College. Puig swings through the delivery from David Posey, who came on in relief last inning of Tyler Gren. His second inning on the mound. Right-hander, very compact, sets and delivers for a strike at 84 miles per hour. Alejandro Puig, the shortstop who made the putout to end the inning, leads off the next inning. And Tida Perno blocks that off his shoulder down towards first base. A new ball goes out to the mound from home plate umpire Webb Turner, who puts that ball back in his pocket. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the order. The pitch, breaking ball, just fouled away. The nasty pitch from the Navy freshman, the plebe, at 70 miles per hour. And just able to get a piece of it was Puig, who remains behind in the count at 1-2. Line drive, center field. Jake Hooten makes the putout. Hard hit ball right at the Navy center fielder. So the freshman pitcher getting some help defensively from the freshman outfielder, and 1 away. Back to the top of the order. Nico Banez, the senior from Orlando, left-handed hitter. The center fielder, 1 for 2. Hit by pitch and scored in the 3rd, and then an RBI base hit in the 4th. That was the 1 run scored in the 4th. After 3 in the 3rd, and now 3 in the 5th, a 7-0 Dartmouth lead. Foul ball on the first base side is giving chase. Is Navy captain, first baseman Victor Izquierdo, watches it go down into the Dartmouth bullpen. Nothing going on down there, and starting to see some action in the Navy bullpen. I think John Carroll might be up for the midshipmen. There's a ball that's hit to the gap, to the wall. Ceccarelli will fire it back in, and it is a stand-up double for Nico Banez, who turned on that one into the power alley right up against the wall at 370. So a runner at second base with 1 away for Dartmouth. Nico Banez swinging the stick. Banez with a double, a base hit, hit by pitch. He's reached base 3 of the 4 times he's come to the plate. Tayer Rodriguez comes to the plate. Looks at a first pitch strike from David Posey. Posey, while playing those 4 years of varsity baseball at North Allegheny High School, earned all-state and all-conference honors as a senior. Blocked behind the plate, might have a play at third. DePerno throws down to third. Safe was Banez, who had doubled, and that ball in the turf, blocked by Ty DePerno. But a wonderful job of getting up and rifling it down there to make it a very close play at third. So Banez, who dove in head first, is wearing that protective glove over his right hand on the base pass, now leads off third. Navy infield drawn in on the edge of the turf with a count 2 balls and 1 strike and 1 out to Tayer Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks to the pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Here's Kripe. Throws it home. The tag out. Got him. Second time the midshipmen have done that. Throwing out, actually the third time they've thrown out a runner at home plate. Second time that shortstop Tyler Kripe has made the play at home. And the time before that, it was Chris Klug with a nice play. So great defense by the midshipmen in this ball game. Holding it at 7-0. Runner advances to first on the fielder's choice, Tair Rodriguez. But the midshipmen take the leadoff runner who doubled Banez off the base pass with an out. Oh, and it looks as though the batter might have hurt his shoulder swinging at that one. It was Axel Reese who hit the foul ball straight back and then went right down to the ground and might have maybe dislocated his arm. Ty DiPerno picked up his bat right in front of the plate, but he went right down. Ty gives the bat to the third base coach. Training staffs from both Dartmouth and Navy, athletic training staffs, go out to help out Axel. There was something wrong with that left shoulder the minute he swung and hit the ball, and he's on one knee now, being looked at by Jake Hewitt, athletic trainer for Dartmouth. Mentioned a little bit earlier this week, I had a chance to interview Navy freshman right-hander Owen Pfeifers, named the Patriot League Pitcher of the Week. A dominant start to his college career, throwing 7 scoreless innings last Sunday in Navy's shutout win over St. Bonaventure, as Pfeifers tallied 4 strikeouts, limiting the Bonnies to 4 hits and 3 walks. Already a Patriot League Rookie of the Week earlier this year, and now the current Patriot League Pitcher of the Week in a 2-0 record, a shutout win, Owen Pfeifers. So, good sign that Axel Reese is able to walk off, but that will do it for him. He will take his bat and helmet and head back to the Dartmouth dugout. It looks as though he's done for the day. Maybe dislocated his shoulder the way he went down. So we're waiting for the pinch hitter. We'll see who that is. It's an 0-1 count, 2 are outs, and Gus Beggert, outfielder from Austin, Texas, the freshman, 6'3", 210 pounds. Got a chance to pinch hit for Axel Reese. Already a strike against him. David Posey in his collegiate debut in relief for the midshipmen. The right-hander on the mound and delivers. Misses low. Axel Reese ends the day 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Had a base hit in the first and then scored in the 5th. The pitch, breaking ball inside. From David Posey. It was an 0-1 count on the foul ball that went back off the bat of Axel Reese. Looked like he might have dislocated his shoulder. And now Beggert fouls one back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dartmouth 7, Navy nothing. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Runner on first is Tair Rodriguez. Pretty good lead. Stays put there. The breaking ball at 69 miles per hour from Posey. Just misses outside, low and away. The count is full with 2 away. Runner will go. Fly ball high to left field. Chris Klug comes in and makes a put out and ends the inning. No runs. There was 1 hit. No errors. Runner left at first to the bottom of the 6th. Dartmouth 7, Navy nothing. Navy baseball returns in a moment. Bottom of the sixth inning, Dartmouth College out in front of the Naval Academy, 7-0 here at Max Bishop Stadium. And you're listening to Navy Baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members are the mission, insured by NCUA. And I was thinking that the window was getting a little foggy here. I was getting ready to get the Windex out, but it's the great burgers and dogs that are smoke is kind of billowing across behind the plate. Not really to worry for the ball game. It's all behind the plate, but right in front of us as we look out here across Terwilliger Brothers Field. And what a performance it has been on the mound for Dartmouth starter Nate Eisler. Eisler has not allowed a run, 2 hits, 5 innings pitched, 82 pitches, and he has struck out 7 midshipmen. Putting some little water on the flames of the grill here at Max Bishop Stadium, cooking all the burgers and the dogs for you. There you go. Knocking down those flames as the fans knock down those hot dogs and burgers. And there's a bouncing ball to third. Tair Rodriguez over to first and makes the put out of Chris Klug to lead off the bottom of the sixth inning for the midshipmen. 1 pitch, 1 out. Mason Ceccarelli, sophomore right fielder from Naples, Florida, and St. John Newman High School, along with Jackson Clark and Owen Pfeifers, all 3 attending that baseball powerhouse in South Florida on the West Coast. Mason was telling me before the game that he was a center fielder when he arrived there, but the current center fielder when he walked on campus is now playing baseball at Miami University, to give you an idea of the talent that has come out of St. John Newman, and we have seen it right here early this season for the midshipmen. Mason Ceccarelli, 0 for 2. Ceccarelli, left-handed hitting right fielder, looks at a pitch for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the order for the midshipmen. Klug is already out here in the inning. Ceccarelli thought he had a walk, flipped the bat over towards the class of 71 dugout, but it was Webb Turner who doesn't agree. Home plate umpire says it was a strike, so the count is full now at 3-2 with 1 away. Victor Izquierdo, who is on deck, flips the back to Mason. Mason now looks it out and gets it all the way back towards the dugout. A runner on first with 1 out for Navy. Looking to get some runs here. Some work to do. Trailing 7-0 with Victor Izquierdo up. Victor is 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the first. Stole the base and grounded out to second in the third. The shift that they're going to put back on for Victor Izquierdo has the second baseman, Camden Rush, almost behind second base. And that's where he made the play on Victor in his last at-bat. Mason Ceccarelli at first base for the midshipmen. 3 for 3, stealing bases so far this season, has a good lead. Navy needs more than his run now, down 7-0. The right-hander Eisler delivers out of the stretch for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Manning, the designated hitter, on deck. Victor Izquierdo with 1 away and a runner at first, and Mason Ceccarelli. The right-hander delivers. Bouncing ball up the middle. Glove by Puig. Over to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Ends the inning. Kind of a softly hit ground ball, and turning it quickly at second, the big green. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We move to the 7th. Dartmouth 7, Navy nothing. We'll be back in a moment. Top of the 7th inning at Max Bishop Stadium. Here on the yard at the United States Naval Academy in the shadows of Gate 8. Dartmouth leads Navy 7-0. The Big Green took the opener of the series yesterday, 3-1. This is the opener of a doubleheader here this afternoon, scheduled for 7. So the midshipmen need to get out of this one, get up and get some runs in a hurry. Second pitching change of the ball game for Navy. That'll do it for David Posey. The freshman in his college debut allows 3 runs on 2 hits in 2 innings. All 3 runs were earned, walked 2, and he threw 46 pitches, and he gives way now to John Carroll. So Carroll in relief for the midshipman. Left-hander, so the first time that the Big Green will see a lefty out there here this season. John Carroll trying to build on a big freshman year last year. The 5'9", 170-pound sophomore from Rockville Center and Chaminade High School. Out on the mound. With his season debut, the left-hander sets at the chest. Brings an 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball in. Low. First pitch of the season for him. As it's A.J. DeMastri, his last at bat, a 2-run home run. Bouncing ball to short. Tyler Kripe makes the play to first and 1 out. Doing exactly what Coach Restano wants to do in a situation like this. Down 7 runs, just throw strikes and get outs. And that's exactly what John Carroll does. Quick out. Sam Anderson, the pinch hitter for Dartmouth. Second time we've announced a Ontario player in the lineup. The freshman from Toronto, right-handed hitter. So he pinch hits for Stefan DeCorrado. Corrado 0 for 3. And now it's Sam Anderson's turn. Anderson, the right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss, breaking ball from left-handed reliever John Carroll at 74 miles per hour. Well inside and out of the strike zone, low. And really fooled him on that one. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Carroll winds and fires. Blocked behind the plate off the right hand of Ty DePerno, who's taking a beating back there with some pitches in the turf. Kept just about everything in front of him so far here this afternoon. Anderson batting .267. His 7th appearance of the season. Swung on and missed. John Carroll's first strikeout of this season. And 2 away. Real nice breaking ball from Carroll, which is his bread and butter, is the off-speed breaking pitches. And gets his first strikeout of the season. 2 outs. Milo Suarez. Suarez, 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, a walk, and a base hit. So a busy day not only at the plate but at first base for the Dartmouth senior, the Floridian from Pinecrest, Florida. Checks his swing. Looks down to first, did not. Thurman Bailey, first base umpire, said he presented the bat, so it is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. John Carroll, left-handed reliever, sets with his glove up near his mouth and then drops and pitches. That one's low. The wind is blowing straight out now towards that backed-up traffic at Gate 8. Looking to get onto the yard on this Saturday afternoon. Open stance. Line drive. Base hit to right field. First hit allowed of the season by John Carroll with 2 away. Runner reaches first. Milo Suarez. He's now 2 for 3 this afternoon. Chris Miller, 1 for 2. scored, got on with a base hit in the fourth, and then scored. Struck out in the second, and then an RBI on a fielder's choice in the fifth. Miller, 6'3", 225 pounds. Looks at that breaking ball from John Carroll. Outside at 73 miles per hour. This is the first of a doubleheader scheduled for 7 innings, and we're in the 7th right now with Dartmouth out in front of Navy 7-0. The Navy left-handed reliever delivers. Fouled off to the right side and out of play. Game 1 of the doubleheader, which is game 2 of this 4-game series. A doubleheader today, a single game, first pitch at noon tomorrow. Carroll's pitch, bouncing ball, down to third base. Patrick Walsh sets and throws over to first, and that will do it. Good inning in relief. Debut this season for John Carroll. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Midshipmen come up with some work to do in the bottom of the 7th of this game, scheduled to go 7 in the first of the doubleheader, trailing 7-0. We'll have it for you in a moment. The late, great Kenny Rogers. Know when to hold him, know when to fold him. The Gambler on the sound system here at Max Bishop Stadium, Twilliger Brothers Field, on the yard of the United States Naval Academy, Indianapolis. First of a doubleheader this afternoon against Ivy League Dartmouth College and the Big Green from Hanover, New Hampshire, out in front of Navy 7-0. This one's scheduled for 7 innings. We're at the bottom of the 7th. And Andrew Manning, the designated hitter, will lead things off. 0 for 2. Third time that he will see Nate Eisler, who has gone the distance. 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 93 pitches. The 94th is a breaking ball for a strike at 79 miles per hour. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking for his first win of the season. 0-1 coming in. Doesn't look anything like his 6.75 ERA this season, the way he's been pitching today. Swung on and missed by Andrew Manning. Eisler has had nice command with those 2 walks and the 7 strikeouts as he's approaching the 100 pitch count now. The right-hander's pitch. Swung on and missed. Strikeout. 8th of the ball game. 1 away. So Patrick Walsh, who made that nice play to end the inning at third, steps up to the plate now for the Midshipmen. Down 7-0 in the 7th. Game 1 of the doubleheader scheduled for 7th. Midshipmen would like to have a big rally, walk it off, or at least get it to extra innings before game 2. With 1 down, that's fouled down into the turf off the swinging bat of Patrick Walsh. Walsh came into the ball game Navy's leading hitter, hitting .310, 9 hits, 2 of those doubles, 3 triples. He grounds one for a base hit for the Midshipmen, so gets his first hit of the ball game. Just getting it outside the reach of Dartmouth second baseman Camden Rush. A base hit to right center fielder. Runner on, 1 out for Navy, down 7-0 with Ty DiPerno stepping in for the Midshipmen. Patrick Walsh trying to build on that batting average is now 1 for 3. Ty DiPerno is 1 for 2 with a base hit was stranded at third in the second. Walsh with a good lead at first, but again, will stay put there right now. That run, not the issue. The midshipmen need to get a bunch here. Down 7-0 with Ty DePerno. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Again, they shift to put the second baseman behind second base on him. The breaking ball inside out of the strike zone at 77 miles per hour as Ty is ahead in the count now, 2-0. Nate Eisler from the stretch. The kick, the pitch, shot to left field. Back towards the wall off the bat of Ty DePerno. It is in. DePerno with a double, coming around third and scoring for the midshipmen. Diving head first across home plate as Patrick Walsh and Ty DePerno heads up base running with that ball going through to the plate. Comes all the way around to third, and the midshipmen are on the board. Their first run of the ball game on the triple by Ty DePerno. Into the power alley and left center field, bringing Patrick Walsh all the way around from first base. It was a line shot, so Patrick knew that he just had to run, and he was given the green light by Coach Pav at third base and was able to score. And we're going to see, for the first time making an appearance at the mound, Dartmouth interim head coach Blake McFadden, former pitcher himself at Kansas State. And it looks as though that will do it for Nate Eisler. So Eisler with a big performance gives up the single run, approaching 100 pitches. So he will give way, and it will be Aiden Plummer. Aiden Plummer, 6'1", 200-pound senior from Grand Blanc, Michigan. The right-hander comes on in relief of Eisler. 6 1/3. Eisler allows just that single run that Navy just scored off the triple by Ty DePerno. 4 hits. That run was earned. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 101 pitches. So that's probably the big reason that it was Blake McFadden making the pitching change now early in the season with that high pitch count. But what a performance by Eisler, looking to even his mark at 1-1. Aiden Plummer does have a win in his one appearance of this season. Pitched a single inning. And he will get a chance to throw here against the midshipmen this afternoon. Getting brighter as the afternoon has moved along here at Max Bishop Stadium, the state capital of Maryland. They say it's going to be partly cloudy by the time it's all said and done here. Early in the week, there was some precipitation in the forecast, but that has gone away. But the winds have picked up. It's blowing straight out to center field. By the time it's all said and done today, we'll be in the high 50s. And the midshipmen now with a runner at third base facing Aiden Plummer. For the midshipmen will be Jake Hooten. Ty DePerno advancing to third, had the double, and then advanced on that throw home that Patrick Walsh was able to dive over. Heat's on, isn't it? Feel the heat, nice and toasty up here in the press box. So the midshipmen looking to put a big inning together here. Already Ty DePerno getting that done, bringing in the first run of the ball game. Navy 1 run on 4 hits, no errors for Dartmouth. Their 7 runs are on 10 hits. Jake Hooten against Aiden Plummer. Out of the bullpen will work from the stretch. Plummer, 6'1". First pitch is for a ball. Ty DePerno leads off third base. The Navy catcher. The right-hander, Aiden Plummer, the Dartmouth reliever, misses outside. So his first 2 pitches are balls, and you know that Jake Hooten, the freshman from Gulf Breeze, Florida, and Gulf Breeze High School, will be looking at this one, making Plummer earned his keep with the midshipman now down 6 runs, 7-1. The pitch, breaking ball away. 3-0 the count now. To Jake Hooten, center fielder for the midshipman. Hooten, 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, was stranded at second in the second. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. And that's in for a strike at 86 miles per hour from the Dartmouth right-hander. As Hooten will step back in. Still looking for that pitch to sit on. Fouled off his bat, frustrated by that. I wanted to check his swing, but it was just high out of the strike zone. Would have been ball 4, but when he checked the swing, it did go off the bat. Out of the arm of Aiden Plummer at 86 miles per hour. The count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch misses away, a walk. Plummer walks the first batter he faces, and Jake Hooten sending Tyler Kripe, the Navy shortstop, to the plate. Aiden Plummer, growing up in Grand Blanc, Michigan, went to Luke Powers Catholic High School. Made 5 appearances out of the bullpen last season. This is his 2nd appearance of the season out of the bullpen. Had a save last year. And he now looks at runners at the corners. 2 out. Shortstop Alejandro Puig is right behind second base. So we've seen a number of infield shifts today with both the second baseman and other times the shortstop for Dartmouth moving right behind second base. And there was something that Blake McFadden saw from the dugout that made him run right out to the mound, and quickly, just as that, runs right back in. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Navy on the board here in the bottom of the 7th, but they need more, as this is the first game of a scheduled Saturday doubleheader for 7 innings. So this is the time they need to do it. Ty DePerno, who has the RBI for the midshipman on that double, is at third, advanced on the throw home, taking off and getting down to second base without a throw is Jake Hooten. So no longer the double play possibility that you would normally look at in that situation with runners at the corners. Still with the 6-run lead, Dartmouth infield is back at their normal spots. The pitch misses inside at 87 miles per hour. So Aiden Plummer on in relief of Eisler. Having a little trouble finding the strike zone. He's got a lot of room to work with, though. A 6-run lead. 3-0 the count to Jake Hooten. Noah Adidas is on deck for the midshipman. Catches the inside corner for a strike. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Tyler Kripe heads down to first base, so he earns the walk. And the midshipmen have now loaded the bases with 1 out. They weren't going to give Kripe anything to hit, get him over to first to try to maybe get the force out with the bases loaded. DePerno at third. Jake Hooten at second base. At first base, Tyler Kripe. And at the plate, the 9th hitter in the order for the midshipmen. Second baseman, Noah Adidas. Adidas fouls it back over towards the Navy on-deck circle. Or it is gloved by Chris Klug, sophomore outfielder. So a lot of youth out there for the midshipmen. A sophomore at third. Plebes at first and second. A sophomore at the plate. And also a sophomore on deck. Bodes well for this Navy baseball program that Chuck Restano's building. There's a pitch high at 85 miles per hour outside the strike zone from Aiden Plummer. Plummer in relief of Eisler. Eisler got an out here in the 7th, but then they went to the bullpen. And the midshipmen have a run, trailing now 7-1. Ball 1, strike 1, 1 out to Noah Adidas. Looks at an outside pitch. Midshipman very disciplined now, making Plummer throw strikes. You might ask why Eisler left the ballgame with only allowing a single run. He was up to 102 pitches, so this early time of the season, you don't want your arms to get in trouble, so they went to the bullpen, and Aiden Plummer went to the fastball there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Midshipman with the bases loaded and one away in the bottom of the seventh. In this one scheduled to go 7. Plummer's pitch, breaking ball, bounced foul by Noah Ditas, stays alive at 2-2. Noah Ditas back into the batter's box, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Lines one to right field for a base hit. That'll score Ty DiPerno from third, and the midshipman will remain with the bases loaded as Navy's rallied here for a couple runs in the bottom of the seventh inning. They trail 7-2, but the bases are loaded now, and that brings up Chris Klug, left fielder from Indianapolis, who made a great play early in the ball game to throw out a runner at first base. And the midshipman still with life here. Today's Navy baseball game brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. Bases loaded for Navy, trailing 7-2. Hard hit ground ball fouled on the third baseline. You're listening to Navy Baseball from the Navy Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Navy Federal Credit Union proudly serves the armed forces, veterans, and their families. Our members are the mission, insured by NCUA. Aiden Plummer, first reliever of the ball game for Dartmouth. Second time with the bases loaded. The pitch, breaking ball, swung through by Chris Klug. He is behind in the count 0-2 with one out. Bases are loaded for Navy. Jake Hooten at third base. Tyler Kripe at second base. Noah Ditas at first. There's a pitch. Misses outside. First ball of the at-bat to Chris Klug. Top of the order for the midshipman. He's the leadoff hitter. 0 for 3. Flown out to left field twice and grounded out to third base in his last at-bat in the sixth inning. In the bottom of the seventh, Navy trailing 7-2. Swung on and missed. That was a high breaking ball. Strikeout, the first of the ball game for Aiden Plummer. On a pitch high and away, 70 miles per hour. And the midshipmen now are down to their final out. But still, the bases are loaded. Down by 5 runs. So looking to keep things alive is Mason Ceccarelli, the sophomore. Looks at a first pitch ball from Aiden Plummer. Plummer steps off the back of the rubber, wears the old school hose and stirrups. Sets. Navy with 3 runners on. There's a fly ball into foul territory. Tair Rodriguez knocks it, go off his glove. The midshipman get another life. That ball went off the glove of the third baseman, Tair Rodriguez. And back to collect his bat is Mason Ceccarelli. The winds have picked up a little bit. Good luck for the midshipman now with Matt McMahon returning from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium has helped the mids load the bases here on 2 occasions. 1 ball, 1 strike, but 2 out. Here's Mason Ceccarelli. Ceccarelli looks at a ball, and he walks. So another run scores. Ceccarelli down to first, and crossing the plate is Jake Hooten, and the midshipmen now are in the situation where the tying run is coming to the plate, and that's Victor Izquierdo, one of their best hitters. who's hit the ball well today, is Kierdo. 1 for 3 at a base hit in the first. Did hit into a double play in his last at bat in the sixth and grounded out to second. And second appearance on the mound for Dartmouth interim head coach Blake McFadden. And that will mean, believe we'll see a change. There's nobody up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Late entry from the bullpen. 13. So it is Nate Kugler, the right-handed reliever from Studio City, California. And he will come in with the bases loaded and the game-tying run at the plate. Nate Kugler, second reliever of the ball game after the outstanding performance by Eisler here into the seventh inning of this first game of the doubleheader. And the midshipman with a rally here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Kugler, the sophomore right-hander, was injured last season. The sophomore, as I said, from famous Studio City, California, Hollywood. Had a career 1.1 ERA for Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks. Same hometown of Navy starter Tyler Grenn here today. Economics major. And the sun has appeared for the first time here this afternoon. So the same inning that the offense appeared for the midshipmen, the sun has come out, and the reliever Nate Kugler is in. A never say die Navy ball club in this one. They were down 7-0, have scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the seventh, and have the bases loaded with the potential game-tying run coming to the plate in Victor Izquierdo. Victor already with 2 home runs this season, and one of those a blast here at Max Bishop Stadium. So just things you think about right now when your senior captain comes to the plate with the bases loaded. Victor had the game-winning sacrifice fly in Navy's midweek 8-7 win over Coppin State, driving in the now injured Henry Mitchell, and had a blast at home run in the home opener against Delaware State a couple weeks ago. Right now, looking for his pitch, and if he gets it, you know he's going to try to drive it. Today's Navy baseball game has been brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilly Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge Annapolis. So Nate Kugler, all set to go in relief for Dartmouth. The sophomore right-hander will work from the stretch out of the bullpen. Victor Izquierdo with the bases loaded. Navy trailing 7-3, down to their final out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Breaking ball well away to Big Vic. Steps back, gets the signal from the dugout. Victor Izquierdo, 6'2", 225-pound senior team captain from Lockport, Illinois. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. The right-hander, Nate Kugler, his pitch, again in the turf. 2-0 the count. So not only have the Navy bats come to life here in the bottom of the seventh inning, but also their poise at the plate, not swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. 2-0 to Victor Izquierdo. The bases loaded. Tyler Kripe, closest to home plate at third base. That pitch misses outside. So 3-0 the count now to Victor Izquierdo. If he can get on, then the potential game-winning run can come to the plate for the midshipmen. Trailing 7-3, down to their final out in the bottom of the seventh inning. Timeout called. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. That's why it's scheduled for 7 and then scheduled for 9 in the late afternoon nightcap. We'll take a break once this one's eventually over and come back with that one for you about 40 minutes later. The right-hander, reliever, Nate Kugler for Dartmouth. Looks in. Winds and fires. Misses outside. A 4-pitch walk to Victor Izquierdo. He walks down to first base. Jogging across home plate is Tyler Kripe. And just like that, the midshipmen have the potential game-winning run coming to the plate in Andrew Manning, who already has a home run this season. The bases are loaded. Navy trails 7-4. But they are down to their final out. Andrew Manning against the right-hander Nate Kugler. Kugler has thrown 5 straight balls now since coming out of the bullpen for Dartmouth interim head coach Blake McFadden and his pitching coach, his former college coach at Kansas State, Brad Hill. No Adidas, closest to home plate for the midshipman at third now. Inside, misses. Almost hit Andrew Manning, who is ahead in the count, 2-0. And Alejandro Puig, the shortstop, decides to step to the mound. Settle down Nate Kugler. Kugler, 6'1", 208-pound sophomore, missed his entire freshman season, or as they like to say at Dartmouth, first-year season last year. Getting a chance out here on the mound. His 4th appearance of the season, all out of the bullpen. Looks, kicks, the pitch, misses, has yet to throw a strike. 4 balls to Victor Izquierdo, who's down at first base with the bases loaded. The potential game-winning run at the plate, Andrew Manning, ahead in the count, 0-3. Manning settles in. Looks at his 4th pitch from Kugler. It is low, and it gets by, and it's another walk and another run for the midshipmen. No Adidas crosses the plate. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, Navy with 2 outs leads it 7-5, and really nice by Chuck Sano. He's got in its face. Victor is killed. Is that the game-tying run? And the game-win run right now is at first base, potentially, and Andrew Manning, with the bases loaded, Patrick Walsh. Walsh 1 for 3. As the midshipmen have batted around now here in the 7th inning. Another ball from Kugler, and you can see his frustration on the mound as he pounded his glove after that one got away from him. But he still is just 1 out away, and the midshipmen are now 2 runs away from tying this one. They were down 7-0 coming into the bottom of the 7th inning, and they've scored 5. The pitch, line drive, base hit into right field. 1 run scores. Here comes Bouchard. The midshipmen have tied it. How about that? Empties the Navy dugout as the pinch runner, Tyler Bouchard, crosses the plate on the base hit by Patrick Walsh. Wow, what a comeback by the midshipmen. 7 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning and have tied it with a chance now to win it. Ty DePerno at the plate with a runner in scoring position at second base. Right now, it looks as though this is Nate Kugler's to continue on as he remains on in relief. And Chuck Ristano will come out of the Navy dugout and we'll talk the situation over with both Ty DePerno and also the runners. Again, something that Chuck Ristano is very smart in doing oftentimes. He wants to discuss the situation and get everybody together, even when they're on offense. You can do that. Most of the time you see the manager go to the mound, they bring the infield together, but he likes to bring those base runners in offensively. Nothing to lose here. House money for the midshipmen as they've tied it 7-7. Biggest comeback of the season for the midshipmen. Down 7-0 here in the bottom of the seventh. If you're just joining us, this is the first game of a doubleheader. So it was scheduled for 7. Right now we're close to going 7, but the midshipmen are trying to win it. Dartmouth with 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. Navy with 7 in the seventh. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and a whole bunch of walks. So here we go. Ty DePerno at the plate. Runner in scoring position at second base in Andrew Manning. The pitch. First strike. I think it's the first strike we've seen from Nate Kugler, and couldn't have gotten it at a better time for Dartmouth as they want to get out of this one in the tie and try to get some more runs in the eighth. Midshipmen want to have nothing to do with that. Ty DePerno swings and fouls it back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Navy with a 2-out rally have tied it at 7 with 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning in a comeback for the ages against Dartmouth. The sophomore looks back to second base. The pitch in tight. Almost hit Ty DePerno. He was not moving the way he's been hit behind the plate as a catcher today. That wouldn't have been anything. He has taken a beating already with a base hit and has already scored a run here in this 7-run 7th inning. Nate Kugler with his second baseman right behind second base. Another breaking ball misses. So again, playing the second baseman at second base for the Navy right-handed hitter. The shortstop, Alejandro Puig, in his normal position, but Camden Rush right behind the bag at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, ground ball fouled on the third base side. That's why baseball is such a great game. Dominating this game, Dartmouth throughout it, and kind of a lull here at the ballpark, but everyone hanging in there. And what does Navy do? Comes up with 7 runs in the 7th inning to tie it, and now a chance to win it. That winning run potentially at second base for Ty DePerno. He fouls one off to the right side, out towards King George Street, as it is Andrew Manning at second base. Patrick Walsh, the most recent hero, with the game-tying base hit with the bases loaded at first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ty DePerno settles at the plate. He hits a ball, base hit into right field. Here comes Andrew Manning, and the Navy midshipmen have completed the come from behind. 8 runs in the 7th inning to win it 8-7 over the Dartmouth Big Green. They lose the opener yesterday after giving up 2 runs in the first inning. Navy falls behind in this one 7-0, and they win it and come from behind style. Wow, 8-7 for the midshipmen. 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors, all 8 runs in the 7th inning, winning the first game of this doubleheader in fine style, coming back to take it 8-7 for Dartmouth. 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 errors. Who knew that when Nate Eisler left the ball game, having not given up a run in the 7th inning with 1 out, the way he had pitched, only giving up 2 hits, that the midshipmen would come back and win it. But they win it with discipline at the plate, and they play the game in the image of their coach, Chuck Ristano. What he has done since he's come here to the Naval Academy, the discipline they play with, an aggressive style of baseball. But wow, what a win for the midshipmen, and congratulations to John Carroll in his first appearance of this season. Gets the win on the mound in relief. Again, those final numbers as the midshipmen are out in left field, getting ready for game 2 of this series. For Navy, 8 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For Dartmouth, 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Dartmouth went to this 7th, leading 7-0, and Navy comes back to win it 8-7. Today's Navy baseball game has been brought to you by Hawkeye 360, by Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan, by the Maryland Energy Administration, by Tilley Distribution, and by Blackwall Hitch and the Lodge, Annapolis. So that'll do it for game 1 of this doubleheader. We'll be back in just about 40 minutes with game 2. For our director, Britton McMahon, 4:15. Excellent. So Rob and Marshall letting us know 4:15. So you still got time to come here for game 2. Who knows what's going to happen after we saw game 1, but come on by, or we'll be back here on Navy Athletics YouTube at 4:15. Again, the final score. Wow, what a ball game. Navy 8, Dartmouth 7. For Director Britton McMahon and for Marshall Filipowicz, I'm Scott Wyckoff. See you in about 40 here on Navy Athletics YouTube.